Loves, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I actually received a message from YouTube this week telling me how loyal my subscribers are, and I want to thank you. So today I'm going to dive into some messages to support all of you that have been here with me, or those of you that are just coming in to connect. We're going to do some check-in around where the energies are now, especially after these last few days and weeks of really recalibrating between the masculine and feminine energies. All right. I just have a few quick announcements. I want to let you know that this Friday, March 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be having a conversation with Medina over on Sology One Studios. So I'll drop that in the community tab and in the pinned comment if you guys want to watch that. It's a free conversation. He has a beautiful network of conversations and podcasts and videos and interviews and things like that. So you may want to check that out. I also have some previous conversations I've had with Todd in my playlist area if you want to check those out. Okay. So, with all of that said, I also want to thank all of you who signed up for the New Earth Entrepreneur Group. The one for this evening has filled up and sold out, but I do have that second date for March 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there are still some spaces left in there for those of you who may have been interested and missed out on tonight's group. All right, loves, there you go. There you have it. Let's dive in and see what we got. I feel guided actually to get a pulse on where the masculine and feminine energies are at this moment in time. And let's see what comes through. Okay, for the masculines. And I'm going to pull a couple for the feminines, and we're going to kind of find the bridging energy is what's coming through. What's happening within the collectives and how those energies are bridging. Oh, wow. Okay. So we had two come out for the masculines, and we have stranger, curiosity, and vanishing mirror, ego, sublimation. And what's actually coming through to me, and this actually connects back with my most recent video from a few days ago. I'll drop that in the comments too for the divine masculines facing their truth. To me, this is just dropping deeper into that verification. Even though I came in today totally open with no agenda, the masculine collective is stepping forward to let us know that this idea of who they thought that they were based on what society told them to be is literally dissolving. They're realizing that their true power and their true worth and their true life force and capabilities have been so suppressed, and they've actually felt like a stranger to their own capability. There's something shifting within them that is kind of opening this up as those old limitations, like that. What's coming through is that mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, right? It's that idea of how do people perceive me? How do they see me? Am I looking a certain way on the surface, even though I may not actually be happy on the inside, or I might not even actually know who I am? And like I talked about in the most recent video, this is something I believe that most of us, if not all of us, go through, masculine or feminine. It's just that for the collective purposes, the general collective of feminines have walked this over the last few years because the masculines held the space for them to do so. And now, as the feminines have stabilized, the masculines are now going through their transformational awakening to their truth process. And it's very freeing. It's like very freeing, but at the same time, a little bit overwhelming is what's coming through. Because as everything you've ever known or believed or thought is shattering and falling apart and dissolving and disintegrating, it can feel unstable. It can feel unnerving, which is oftentimes why this process of transformation was avoided in the past. But what's happening is they've grown to a point where there's not really another option. I almost feel like this is like their higher true self version, like busting out of the limitation of the societal mirror. And like they feel like a stranger to themselves. And how many of you can relate to this? Drop it in the comments because I have to tell you, I went through this a few years ago when I was really stepping out of everything I had built and going rogue on my own and looking at things from a whole new perspective. And actually, for the first time in my life, getting to know my true self and my true capabilities, not based on what I was trying to do to fit in society or within the normal standards, right? And actually discovering my capability, which all interconnects with what we're going to be doing in the New Earth Entrepreneur Group because yes, it's based on like entrepreneurial ideas, right? Of being sovereign and stepping into your purpose and actually creating a living for yourself and caring for yourself based on your purpose and what you're actually naturally good at, which to me is how it should be, right? Because when we stop and we look at finances, money is really only an energetic exchange of life force. But in our modern world, people have placed so much importance on the actual literal piece of paper. They have sometimes lost sight of the actual energetic exchange, right? And that is going to be a whole other topic. I've actually already received guidance that we're going to be going into some videos and some group work around our relationship with money and finances and resources. And really, in truth, the ironic part is in the old way, in lots of ways, we were kind of like a slave to the money, to the having to care for ourselves in a certain way. And we thought that there was only one way to do it. But now what's happening and why I'm doing the group is because we're looking at it from a new perspective as the money and the finances is a result of your natural nature and the exchange of things that you offer because you're building and sharing your purpose in a way that actually supports your entire life, your health, your well-being, your emotions, your relationships, your success in general is not just defined by finances, but it's defined by how you treat yourself as a human being. How well are you caring for yourself and loving yourself? How strong is your physical body? How self-mastered are you with being able to handle your emotions? How are you showing up for your family and your friends and your relationships in ways that aren't in a sense of overgiving or self-detriment? Where have you shored up, strengthening yourself into actually a healthy, appropriate boundaries so that you're not limited by those old ways of freezing off and walling off in order to fit in with the overall agreed upon standards, right? So all of these things that are breaking away and dissolving within our masculine energies are actually, yes, I get it. When you are losing or dissolving what gave you a sense of control and stability, it can feel a little bit scary or unnerving at first. But in all actuality, what it's doing is it's when you allow the process to happen and you let yourself fully expand into who you actually are and all of your potential and all of the capabilities of who you actually are, you realize you never fit in that container in the first place. That's why you weren't feeling well. That's why you were miserable or felt suffocated because you're so much more than that box you were fitting in. So, this gift of the dissolving in the momentary instability, what's happening is it might feel unstable for a moment, but what's happening is you're actually expanding significantly. So, once you reroot yourself in your new foundation, instead of feeling like a flimsy little plant in the wind, you're going to feel like that solid oak tree, that strength, that stability, right? Because you're actually strong enough to hold your true capacity. And Again, it's because we're in this process of retrieving our true life force energy and essence where we froze it off in the past. If our energy is frozen or blocked or hindered, now we don't have the energy and essence to give towards our purpose. And so our flow of resources or finances will be halted, limited, or diminished in comparison to what we're truly capable of. Okay. So looking at your ability to receive and share resources is actually an energetic expression of your physical health, of your emotional health, of your well being in general as a human, because the more of your life force that is present, to take care of you, the more you have to share in the world without draining yourself, right? So, as you have more to share, you're going to be able to receive more, right? It's like you're thawing out your true essence in order to be able to exchange in camaraderie, in reciprocity, in collaboration. And by learning these balanced, harmonious ways of give and take, right? What comes in, what goes out, having a nice balance is where we actually build and grow and expand and evolve regardless of our age, loves. I'm going to say it again, regardless of our age. I actually sit here and wonder, is aging really about getting older? Or is it from all of the fears that we've had that we've frozen off in our system and we have less and less of our own energy because we've built up so many protective mechanisms and we've frozen out our energy so that we don't actually have access to our own life force. And that's what's creating the aging. Just roll with me because, you know, it's not that far off. Really start thawing it out. You want to test it with me? I've been doing it. You know what I mean? And I have to tell you, I'm feeling better and better, right? I don't look at aging in the way that we've been taught. I feel like I'm just getting started. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mindset and it's about how you feel. But the cool part of it is that you actually have the reins to shift this, to free yourself, to age in reverse, to actually step into who you are now by retrieving and thawing that life force within you that may be left on old timelines or frozen in trauma. And as you retrieve those parts of yourself, you have that essence back for you and you retrieved it. And now you have this energy that you can't fit in those little boxes anymore. All right. And you have your own true essence to discover and live and enjoy life in your way, not the way everyone else told you, but your way. All right. Didn't know we were going to go into all that, but I'm feeling it and I like it. All right. So from the feminines, we have lost, lack, fear and victimization, which this makes so much sense because this feels like what we're literally birthing ourselves out of as we have done this or we're doing it, it's helping all of us do it collectively. Okay. And it's bringing in the courage, strength, and fierceness of family, right? It's allowing these energies to come forward in new ways. Some energies got me distracted. All right, guide the illuminated path. Loss, lack, fear, victimization, courage, strength, fierceness, family, guide. Okay. So what it feels like to me is that as the feminines, and it could be for the masculines who have walked this path as well, for those of you that have faced your fears or been facing them, having the courage to stand in what it is that you truly want, you are acting as a guide and a beacon for the way forward for yourself, for your loved ones, and for the general collective. Okay. And as it's hitting me, when I think about what I'm bringing into the New Earth Entrepreneurial Group, it hit me that part of what is coming together is within what I'm sharing. It isn't about getting rid of those traditional, logical, action oriented aspects of business. It's about coupling it with the feminine flowing creative coming from your heart essences. Okay. So I'm realizing more and more like this new earth entrepreneur or this new earth way of being actually incorporates and embraces feminine energies and essences as an equal partner to the divine masculine aspects and essences, which at the end of the day makes us the most powerful. This card, this courage card, is so much speaking to me of the strength, right? It's the balance of the creation and the building, the intuitive and the logic, the masculine and the feminine, the day and the night, the softness and the strength. It's bringing all of who we are together, not only for our businesses and our purpose, but for everything that we're doing, everything that we're building and creating for ourselves and in the new foundations, okay? Because the old foundations did not honor both sides. They were way more focused on only the action oriented doing masculine essences, which is why it's coming so out of balance because it's in great need of embracing equally the feminine essence. It's not about getting rid of the masculine ways. We need the masculine building logical aspects to be equally as important as the intuitive creative energies because it's the work of all of that together that creates the synergy of co-creation, right? Whether we're working as an individual within our own work or whether we're working in a community with others, right? You bring in as many of your strengths as possible. And as we come and transmute out of these ideas of loss and lack and allow ourselves to step into all of who we are, right? Versus staying small and squished in the mindset of loss and victimization, we're actually stepping into who we truly are. And that is the bridging energy. And for those of you or those of us who have been walking this process and are integrating it and embodying it more and more every single day, what this is doing is it's actually guiding that path and illuminating this new way of being that's bridging both the masculine and feminine ways of doing and being together so that we're actually living a more harmonious life that isn't just one way or the other, right? Working smarter, not harder. Actually enjoying the work that we do as a part of our overall well being, right? Because we all want to have a purpose and we all want to provide for others something of value, right? So it brings about this synergistic energy again as we're allowing ourselves to free ourselves from these old ways of being because we really felt in loss and lack and victimization because we lost half of ourself. We didn't have our own full life force. So of course it was confusing. But as we break through out of that and retrieve all of who we are, yeah, there's some recalibration that takes some time. But man, stepping into your true power and becoming all of who you are, it's worth it. Because the other choice is to sit in the victimization and the ways of being that feel squished and suffocating or getting a little bit uncomfortable for a while and breaking through to who you truly are. Discovering what really makes you tick. How do you really feel inside? Right, loves? Okay. All right, let's pull one more of an overall energy from the True Love deck for the collective here on the channel. The sun is coming out. That's why my lighting is changing like that. So we'll just roll with it and trust that's happening for a reason. What do we got? Oh, I love it. I've never even seen this card. Love. So there you have it. It is that internal inner union balance to me. As we come into this balance of our own internal energies, our inner masculine, our inner feminine, our connection to the earth, our connection to our higher power, bringing in all of the pieces of who we are. Like I said, our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our financial health, our relationship health, our environmental health, our home, all of those aspects. When I say it like that, for a moment, it might feel overwhelming. But I'm going to say just start one thing at a time, just little bits and little pieces. As you start to cultivate those puzzle pieces and the parts of you that support you and support your life and moving towards the life that you want, it helps you to be able to care for yourself in those loving ways that also reverberates out back into your connections and into your purpose and in how you move in this world. And you're able to share more love out in the world because you're sustaining it and building it for yourself. All right. We can only love others as much as we love ourselves. And a big part of that love is actually, how are you treating yourself? How are you caring for yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, all those areas? Are you working in some form of harmony within those areas, or are you ignoring some of them for others? Okay. This is what we're moving through. This is what we're learning to do. I know some of you, many of you have already been working on this, but understanding that all of the areas of your life are part of your well-being, and that includes your work and how you make finances. You want to find something that's actually supporting your well-being. Okay, this is no longer in the new energy about self-sacrifice and slavery. This is about dropping into what actually nourishes and nurtures us, because we're providing something that is a natural part of our being and a natural gift that we were given to share into the world. All right, loves, I hope you enjoyed this message. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you soon. And as always, you know I love to hear from you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.